Hey everybody, welcome to 5 Cent Wax. I'm Tyler, and I'm coming to you live from the Bonus Room studio here. And I'm excited to be with you today to talk vintage baseball cards. If you tuned into my last episode, you saw me ask for you, the viewer, to leave comments on your favorite 1950s top set and your favorite card from that set. And I'm very thankful for those of you that left me a comment. I want you to know that I'm working to compile all that and feed that into a future episode that'll be available to you soon. Don't be surprised if I reach back out to those of you that did leave comments for more information and to have you actually interact with this show. So stay tuned for that. Moving on, have you ever heard the term champagne taste on a beer budget? Does it apply to you? It certainly does me. You know, my wife and I are raising two middle elementary school age children, and a lot of the time there's just not a lot left in the budget for me to go add cards to my personal collection with. Um, that doesn't stop me though from looking at cards, thinking about what I want to pick up. And I started putting together really a mini presentation for myself to track cards that I'm interested in and information about the sets they came from. And in the course of doing that, it kind of hit me that maybe I should share that on my channel because it may help some of you guys out that often find yourself, looking for those low to mid grade cards of great players, the GOATs, if you will, aka greatest of all time. So I thought I would share what I've been putting together over the last couple of weeks, and don't want this to come across as a new collector like myself jumping in thinking he knows everything about vintage baseball card sets or the sets we're going to talk about. Nothing like that. I just thought that it would be a good way to share um, the things that I'm learning about, especially for new collectors that are out there and people that are new to vintage like myself. Thought maybe it would be a good springboard for them to learn from. So I want to dive into that with you now. This is a segment I'm calling Goats on a Budget. And I think I'm going to start maybe doing this type of episode on a monthly basis. And I certainly look for feedback from you guys as far as um, cards that you look for that are, of some of the greats, but maybe are not a base card or maybe not as an in-demand card or a little bit lower price card that you can more easily add to your collection. So let's dive in. As I said, 5 Cent Wax presents Goats on a Budget. So the first subset of cards that I've looked at is from the 1958 Topps release, and it's actually the Sport Magazine All-Star Collection subset. Now, this subset was issued in the 6th series of the 58 Topps baseball set, and it includes card numbers 475 to 495. The thing that's interesting about this subset is that it showcases 12 Hall of Famers, and it marks the debut of Stan Musial's Topps card. And it also features the last card of Ted Williams as a player on a Topps card. After this year's release, he actually signed an exclusive deal with Fleer for the last couple years of his career. So this is where you'll find the final Ted Williams playing days Topps card. This is also skipped over, but Topps' inaugural All Star release, if you will. So kind of a landmark in the industry that started with this release. So first card from the set that I want to look at is card number 476. It's Stan Musial, Stan the Man. And for the purposes of looking at these cards, I kind of asked myself, well, where would my moving average be? Like, what grade would I want to look at? Or how can I easily determine what an average price of a card like this is? So I ended up choosing grade 5, just right in the middle of the grading system. Also like raw cards too, but just for the interest of being able to look and easily track average grades over time. Went with grade 5, and I used VCP as prices as of the 1st of September. So these are averages according to recent sales that VCP has recorded. But Stan the Man, you're going to find him in a PSA grade 5 average of the subset at about 55.38 and an SGC grade 5 average of 54.09. I love this card. Beautiful blue background with Stan in that classic St. Louis Cardinals uniform. Really like this one a lot. Next card we have is the Splendid Splinter, Ted Williams, number 485. PSA grade 5 average $136, and an SGC grade 5 average of 124.55. Maybe not the best looking picture you're ever going to find old Ted, but if you're looking to add Ted to your collection, this is a good way to do it on the cheap. We also have Willie Mays. Look at that beautiful blue background again. PSA grade 5 average of 136.74, an SGC grade 5 average of 121.78 for card number 486. Right now, the only Mays card that I have in my collection is a combo card. It's actually the 62 Tops Manager's Dream card that I showed in my August pickups video with him and Mantle standing there. This is a card that I'm targeting to add. Just think it's a great looking card. Also like the price. No set's complete without some Mantle. So we've got really what's a highly recognizable card from the Mantle run. It's card number 487, and if you're looking to add Mickey to your collection, this is one of the best way to do it. This card. I actually think, and I need to look back in time to verify this, but I think this card has risen in asking price or average sale price probably since even a few months ago when I got into the hobby and started looking at it. This was one of the cards I looked at, and I swear just gut feeling is the asking price on these cards seem to go up. But PSA grade 5 average 299.50, SGC grade 5 average of 241.61. So you're going to be able to pick a card like this of Mickey up a lot cheaper than one of his base cards in similar condition. So this is a good option for you if you're looking to start a Mantle run or looking to add some Mick to your collection. Do it relatively cheap. And of course, Hammer and Hank. I actually love this photo of Hank. I think his photo stands out against the blue, and then you've got the yellow kind of border there in the boxes and the nameplate. But card number 488, you're going to find it in a PSA grade 5 average of 104.13 and an SGC grade 5 average of 105.75. So go grab some Hank for your PC. Next, the next set we're going to look at is from the 1960 Topps release. And there's actually 3 subsets in this release that interested me. There's a couple of big rookie cards you can pick up from this set that I think are really undervalued for what they are. But you have the rookie stars, the all-star rookies, and the Sport Magazine all-star subsets in this release. And the rookie star subset was issued in Series 2, and it included card numbers 117 through 148. And then you had the all-star rookie subset, which was in Series 4 of the release, and card numbers 362 through 316 rather through 325. And then finally, the Sport Magazine All-Star subset, which came out in the 7th and last release of the series. That's card numbers 553 through 572. I think they're great looking cards as well. But one of the cards I mentioned that I think is a low, a high value rookie card you can go get of a big name is the Carl Yastrzemski number 148 card in this set. It's his rookie card. I think it's one of the more iconic cards, or one of the more well-known cards. When people talk or think about the early 60s releases, I think this is one that probably comes to mind. But you can have this card on a PSA grade 5 average of $295.29, so right at $300, and the SGC grade 5 average of $240.62. I actually picked this card up recently. Myself was in the ballpark there of what I paid for mine. So I just think that this is a great card. I mean, $300 is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but this card compared to others is one you can go really add a nice rookie card of a great to your collection for a good value in most cases. Next, we have a Willie McCovey rookie card, which is card number 316 in the release. You can get it in PSA grade 5 for $190 on average, and an SGC grade 5 for $182 on average. So basically right there together. I actually own this card as well. Love the McCovey rookie. It was one of the first cards I picked up. Remember seeing this card as a kid and just loving the green and yellow, and then the picture of McCovey there. Thought it was a really nice card. Don't know why this one seems to stay as cheap as it does, but you're talking sub $200 for a nice copy here, and lower grades obviously even cheaper. So it just depends on how much money you want to spend. But this is one I would definitely recommend you target if you're going to go look for a nice rookie card to add. And then finally, you have the Sport Magazine All Star Selection subset from this release. Several Hall of Famers are found here. Some of the ones I chose to look at that I want to add to my own collection are the card number 558, which is Eddie Matthews. Card can be had in a grade 5 PSA on average of just at $30, and SGC grade 5 average of about $35. Also looking for an Ernie Banks, doing a little mini run on him when I can. I'm adding cards from his run. Card number 558 is Ernie Banks PSA grade 5 average $60.85. SGC grade 5 average is $72.14. So a lot of good cards to be found in that 1960 set. It's pretty strong. I really like it. The next set of cards or sets of cards, I'd say that I looked at are cards that I'm actually adding to my own collection, or their likeness. So I actually added a 63 Mantle Jello that I showed in my last episode as a part of my August pickups. Really like that card. I think these cards are just so neat because if you sit there and think about the fact that they were printed on the backs of Post cereal brand cereal boxes, and that a lot of kids in America were sitting around hand cutting these things out with scissors, at the breakfast table, to have that for their own collection or trade with or whatever. I think that's pretty cool. Um, these cards are a little bit different in that because they were hand cut, most of them you're going to find in an authentic. Not that you can't find some ones and twos or even higher grades if somebody took really, really great care to cut out these cards and include the black border that would have been around each of these cards. But without that black border being present and the fact that most of these are hand cut, a lot of the ones you're going to find are authentic. That's okay. Like I said, you don't even have to buy graded. But just for the purposes of this, and find an average pricing, I choose to look at that graded card releases. But the post serial cards, they came out from 61 to 63. There was actually a mini run done in 60, I think, that included other sports in it as well that I don't know all that much about yet. But 61 was the first full release on post serial brands. 62, they changed the design up a little bit and actually included a blue or red border. Blue border was around the American League players, around the stat box, and then you had the red border around the National League. And then 1963, in that release, they went back more to a more traditional look that looks a lot more like the 1961 release did. And you also had Jello releases, as I mentioned, my Mantle during this time, that look almost identical. If you're looking at like a 63, I mean, they're almost identical to the post release of the time, maybe a little bit different size because of the box they're on, whatever. Very similar. Can be hard to kind of tell the difference between the two sometimes. But I really like these cards because you can find some of them pretty cheap. For instance, I've been looking to add some Yogi to my collection. Don't currently own a card of Yogi. His 61 post serial release and an authentic is about $28.17, while an SGC authentic grade comes in on average $21.75. Brooks Robinson, legend. Card number 29 of the 62 release. His PSA authentic average comes in at $12.16. His SGC authentic average actually about double at $24.50. Love Brooks. I actually really like the 62 post serial release. I think the color they added in and moving that portrait over onto the right side as opposed to the left makes it look really good. And then finally, again, going back to give you an idea on somebody like a Mantle who's typically going to bring a lot of money in asking price just because he's kind of iconic in the hobby and a cornerstone of it. But Mantle's number 15 card in the 1963 post serial release, on average, going to bring in about $280 for PSA authentic, 169.16 for an SGC. So still expensive considering it's a card coming off the back of a box, but it's the MIC. You're still able to get into one of these, especially in an authentic grade, a lot cheaper than what you're going to get into some of his base cards for. for the most part. So, hope you enjoyed that. Again, I'm looking to make this maybe a monthly series or part of the brand, if you will. That kind of when I look at my lineup and how I want to go month to month, and I'd really like to, get on a trend, a kind of a pattern each month where I'm doing a couple of things monthly that I can kind of interact with you guys with. I think Goats on a Budget would be a good way to do that. I've added my Big Bros mailbox in that I close every show with, opening up um, cards from his Through the Mail collection that, or open up envelopes from his Through the Mail collection that I've not seen yet that I found when I inherited his collection. So I'm looking to kind of figure my layout out month to month, and looking at ways I can interact and bring your guys' comments into this. So as always, please remember to leave comments. Let me know, what cards do you consider good gets as far as, a little bit lower budget, good value cards that you can go add, to some of the greats to your collection instead of having to have, a little bit bigger spend to go accomplish it. So I'm looking forward to your comments on that below, and want you to leave those. Stay with me. We're going to close out this show by flipping around, opening up some envelopes. It's time for Big Bro's mailbox, so stay tuned. All right, so let's see what Big Bro's mailbox has to offer. Let's go around. Got 3 envelopes for you tonight. First off, we have signed LaShawn McCoy rookie card. Nice. Blue Sharpie. Like that. Football season in full swing, so that's fitting. Number 2, we have, who we got? Fernando Valenzuela. Man, I'm pumped about that one. That's a good one. Fernando had it going on. $89. And last but not least, got an index card with this one. We have Ron Hassey, signed 86 tops. And a card, my brother said, "Thank you very much, Mr. Hassey. Best wishes. God bless." 1 Corinthians 13:13, Romans 6:23. So, pretty cool. More to add to the binder of my brother's finds. Stay with me as I flip it around. Well, I'm about convinced my big bro was trying to track down every name he could to get an autograph from him through the mail. So, hope you enjoyed that segment as I do. Stay tuned for the next episode. And as always, be in touch. Let me know if I can do anything for you. God bless.